Hello there, you're on the Heart of Reddit channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Get your popcorn ready and enjoy. Yeah sure, boss. So I'm an intern in a company, and, as you may guess, I have to do most of the dirty work. One day my boss tells me to go replace some computer monitors and store the old ones in a small warehouse we have. I replace the stuff, and as I get to the warehouse I notice the only free spot I have for the monitors is the top shelf, which I can't reach on my own, even more carrying a 5.8 kilograms monitor. I tell him that I can't reach it, and he tells me to get the ladder to get up there, and as I'm telling him I still wouldn't be able to reach it, he tells me, "It's how you do it. Just do it." So I go back, and as prepared to go up the ladder I notice it has some parts broken. I go to the office again to tell him that the ladder is broken, and he just screams saying, "It just put everything back where it was when you finish," without even hearing me. At this point I'm pissed. I could climb onto a lower shelf and put small stuff in the top one, so I put all the mouse pads in the top shelf, knowing he would have to use the ladder to go get them, and I got placed to the monitors. Playing Tetris helped, by putting them in a way where you kinda had to take them all at the same time or meticulously take each one, and I also put the ladder back where it was. Some days later, everyone quiet, when suddenly you just hear a loud banging. He went to get the mouse pads, broke the ladder, and when falling he grabbed onto a monitor, bringing that and 2 others down to the ground. I never felt so good. $100,000 machine on fire. My brother and I both worked at a food reprocessing facility. One of our jobs was to separate instant oatmeal from the paper packaging that it sold, and this is in midsummer, and the process, which was to last 2 days, created a large amount of dust, which settled on a brand new and 100K plus turbo diesel powered hay bale grinder. The first day went fine, and we were able to get about 2/3 of the way through the stockpile. My brother worked the night shift, and having some spare time and noticing all the dust accumulated on the turbocharger and exhaust system, took the initiative and started to power wash the machine. When the no previous experience new manager noticed, he told my brother to stop because he was afraid of getting the machine wet. We both knew better, but my brother just shrugged his shoulders, put the power washer hose away, and went on with his shift. The next day they assembled the crew to start grinding again, and within 10 minutes the brand new machine was engulfed in flames. The power washer hose had to be retrieved and plugged into a stem line 30 feet away before the flames could be extinguished. However, by then all the electrical wiring and much of the rubber engine parts had already been destroyed. Unfortunately, it was my day off, so I didn't get to see the show, but I got a good laugh when my brother told me about it. I don't remember how much longer that manager worked there, but my brother replaced him when he was gone. My neighbors wanted to call a professional to mark their property line. My parents agreed. This was a long time ago, but I remember it clearly. We moved into a community with tight space in between our house and our neighbors, and we didn't like them being able to see into our kitchen. We put up a bunch of plants, costing thousands, but my parents thought it would be worth it. A week later, my parents awoke to the plants completely chopped down. My father was furious and marched down to our neighbor's house. He told my father the plants were on his property line, therefore he had total right to take them down. He warned that if anything were to go on his property again, he would report us to the authorities immediately. Later that day my father called the company that put in the plants, and with the warranty we could have them replanted next week for no charge. We made sure there was no way it was on our neighbor's property. However, a few days later, we caught him chopping them down at 2 a.m. We called the police upon obstruction of property, and after a chat with my neighbor he decided to call a professional and mark his property line. My father agreed. A few days later, I got home to find orange tape in my neighbor's yard. Apparently, his fence was 11 feet over our property line. We watched as he took down his fence, completely furious. Within the next month we were enjoying our new space and privacy in our backyard, and my neighbor ended up losing 1/4 of his backyard. My neighbor ended up having to pay almost 10K for the destruction of our property, and we got to plant our plants again.